once again, YouTubers. Yeah, I'm back. There's a little situation going on outside. I had to end that video. I don't know what was going on, but I was hearing way too much activity going on outside, which I didn't want to be a part of. It's way too many doors slamming, and I heard a couple of sirens in the background. I'm not sure if you all heard that, but I'm gonna get off that situation talking about Aunt T and Willie Earl and all those things. We all know what we're dealing with in life, so life is what you make it. Not to mention, it's not cold outside, but it's a big difference from yesterday. It's cooled off a lot. Telling us expect to wear jackets this afternoon and all these things. I'm not a weatherman, so I'm gonna leave it at that. So anyway, how's everybody doing on this Monday afternoon or Wednesday morning or Thursday morning or Saturday morning, whatever day you decide to watch this video? Y'all come on in. Let's talk about it. Let's see what's going on in other people's minds today. I myself, I try not to focus so much on the immaturities and the ignorance. You know, I read a couple of comments and I can respond to them. If you got any questions, I don't mind answering those questions. But, you know, y'all, let's just keep in mind, I won't waste any other mature people's time answering immature questions, you know, or the clowns. So, you know, I can take a minute and read these comments, but a lot of times when I'm on here and I'm just talking and running my mouth, I don't have time to be looking at these comments. I should do better at that, but I feel like if I take time out and stop what I'm doing to read these comments and try to respond to them versus doing a Q&A, and that's what my next video is going to be about, a Q&A. So y'all just come on in and bear with that. If y'all want this to be a Q&A, you can start off right now. I'm not going to repeat any questions or live that can cause me to be shut down. I'm not going to cater to the immaturity or the ignorance of somebody else's based on their beliefs, because I really prefer not to offend nobody. I mean, I can talk about things going on in my life. I won't get on here and talk about politics or religion because that offends a lot of people, and that's personal to me. So if you want to greet me and say good things, Pebble, how you doing? I hope all is well in your world. If you want to greet me, we can come in. We can talk about many things. We can all be mature about this, and at some point, we all got to grow up. Hey, Hasib and Coburn and H and K, hello to you both. Greetings. I'm gonna just call out the initials. Pebble, right back at you. But anyway, I started off my earlier live just a few minutes ago. But I'm gonna get off that subject about Auntie being mad at Willie Earl and all that. I had some situations going on outside. I had to move inside. But mostly when I get on here, I'm always at random. It's not to get on here and slight anybody. It's a matter of each and everybody's preference. But you know, like I said before, KL, these people can choose to be racist. They can choose to be ignorant. They can choose to be everything they want to be. But you know, we all just have to be mature enough, not let it. You know, if you're bothered by that, that's fine. We can talk. We can have a conversation on racism. But my only problem with that is, to people that are much younger, they haven't really experienced a lot of things. A lot of people can get on here and talk about racism and talk about. Let's take, for instance, we're gonna get off the racist conversation. They don't know about history. You know, although I did watch the movie Sinners, and for me, it was an okay movie. But one good thing came out of that. There was a lot of black people, I would say from 20 to 30 years old, that don't know their history. They don't even know the actual courses used to exist in school called Black History. So a lot of this stuff was removed from school. They just was taught American history. A lot of young African Americans do not realize that blues and gospel music are pretty much first and second cousins. They're that close together. So we can't stop based on what one movie, and all of a sudden we all became professionals over that one particular movie. Do your research. Don't try to dissect this and dissect that. Learn about your own history. And I'm not been out of shape over what people say, uh, what everybody's perception of you or me. We're dealing with somebody that's probably seeking attention. He or she may want that attention. I'll give you 30 minutes, and all these other things. So, I can get on here and go on a rant about the racist things you know, when I first got into the professional world, or the working professional world. I could talk about all those things. I could talk about how some of the things were directed at me that was racially motivated, and how my particular job at that time, how they didn't deal with it. But I don't think it's important. If somebody, be it from Kuwait, or be it from Japan, or be it wherever, if you want to really know about racism, then I invite you to find somebody and respectfully so sit down and talk to that older African American person. Or you want to know about, if I'm me being a black man, I want to know about racism that's against a Chinese person. I'll sit down and talk to somebody equally my age and talk to them about the racism situation. I'm not one for, I don't care about insults. My thing is, if we're going to insult each other, I would rather do this. Let's say you become that person on my live. You just want to become that heckler, that silent heckler. Let's figure out a way that we can go live together and we can go back and forth for everybody. And I guarantee you, I'm going to burn your heart. I'm going to cut you deep. Literally speaking, not by force, not by knives. I'm just saying, I can go way off on somebody, and I haven't been told that I have that gift. A lot of my personal friends tell me all the time, man, you should be a comedian. No, I don't. I'm not on here to be a comedian. I know I can draw. I can own a table. I can. I talk a lot of shit. I'm that one guy that'll tell you, I feel good cussing somebody out. Me cussing somebody out, when I'm done, I ain't even mad no more. I feel like I just had an orgasm. Because I can play the dozens with you all day long. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and try to go toe to toe with a silent person that's too afraid to want to go one on one. We can do it on live. I don't know how it works yet, but I noticed when it said go live with, like, for instance, go live with somebody else. Maybe that's how I pull somebody else in. I haven't played with that. I'm new at this game. I'm not a pro at it. I get on here just to run my mouth, and being that I probably have now, I haven't even checked, I would just say 1,225 subscribers since February. I'm not begging for people to subscribe. I do always say, please like, comment, and subscribe. Even when I record my videos, I drop that in there. But I'm good talking to 5 people. I'm good talking to 800 people. I'm good talking to 1,200 people. That does not even matter. I can talk one-on-one with somebody on here till I just get tired of saying what I'm going to say. I keep trying to manage my time when I'm on live. And I looked up last week, or maybe the week before, I had been talking for 1 hour and 52 minutes. I was just on one that day. I was across the board, and that's how I do. My last girlfriend she made a comment that, are you always like this early in the morning? Because I like to talk. I wake up ready to go. Ready, set, go. And because I don't think my mind shuts off like a lot of people. And you can call that, some people you just say, yes, the intelligent people, that their minds don't never shut off. They're always thinking, always trying to figure things out. I'm not going to say I'm super intelligent, but I'm no fool. And you got to learn how to deal with certain people. You mix your level of intelligence with street smarts, and you know how to play the game. So don't worry about your job. Don't worry about the fact that they're underpaying you. I may have actually accused that of a couple of people I've worked with and said it, but it's a way you work around that. It's a way you work around it. You get yours by any means necessary, but don't get it because of causing hurt and harm to nobody. Get your second gig. Get your hustle. And I found that to be a situation with a lot of people today. And I'm not coming down on younger generation. I'm just going to say most people. It's not, we're going to take age off the table. Excuse me. They don't have a hustle. They don't have a side thing. They don't know how to get extra money, and things of that nature. We good at spending, but we don't, we wait for it to come. I had a refund check from when I went to my doctor, and the money came in, and that's a good thing with my insurance. All I have to do is really go to the doctor 1 year for the annual checkup. I pay that $25 copay, and I get a check for a decent amount back through my insurance company, which for the past, as long as they've been doing that, every year I put that same amount of money in savings. I don't spend it. It ain't a lot. I mean, I could take it to the grocery store and spend it and get groceries, but then again, I'll be wasting it because living alone, I do not keep a fully stocked kitchen. I keep the bare necessities. It so happened, young lady friend of mine came by just yesterday, stopped by, and she's welcome. She's one of the few that's always welcomed. But she started going through my kitchen, and she's like, "Man, what you gonna cook? You ain't got nothing in here. All you got is cranberry sauce in your pantry." I said, "Yeah, I don't know how old it is." I said, "By the way, since you brought it up, either you take it with you or you throw it away." I said, "Now, there's food in there. If you want, we'll sit here long enough, wait for it to thaw out and cook." And she says, "Well, it's Sunday. I figured you had cooked." She was coming through on the way home. So yeah, you stop by. No, I didn't cook. I made breakfast, but that been gone. And but I don't keep a lot of food stored. I think that's a waste of money when you're a single person. And I trust me, y'all. By me being single, I am not lonely. I have lady friends. Trust me on that. But I don't want to live with nobody. When I tell y'all, I have given a lot of time in my life supporting and living with and being married to and all them step key, all that stuff. No. And for me to date, I would rather get in my vehicle and drive to visit that person than have that person come over here. Main reason is I like keeping things in order. I like my little tiny corner of the world to stay neat. I don't like a mess. You're not leaving dishes in my sink. You're not doing none of that stuff. So it's either play by my rules or just don't bring your ass over here. You have to set boundaries. And that's something my counselor told me, how do you set your boundaries? And the quick way for me to set my boundaries is I can have a conversation with one person. I may even re-enter that conversation. But I feel like when they can't respect your beliefs or your boundaries, I'll have to pull back. I'm not saying I'm not going to fool with them anymore. I just pull back a little bit. That's just how I am. And I think a lot of people are like that. I'm not the only one. I can fool with you one day. You can walk out that door. I may not, But those that know me and call themselves to be true friends, they'll check on you. I may send a message and tell, I told a couple of friends that, I'm going to be off work for a couple of weeks. Doctor took me off work. It's doctor's orders. And a couple of them was like, well, okay, man. But nobody checked in. I don't expect them to because that's just how they are. But I'm not going to continue to manage a friendship. If I got to be the manager of a friendship and I'm giving 80%, somebody giving 20, that's not the right friendship for me. And I do the same thing with when it comes to personal relationships. I was that person that was always giving. It's in my nature, it's in my heart to give. And I always tell people, the older I got, the more that I experienced, I learned to tell people up front. When you get tired of me, you can walk out the same way you walked in. I'm not trying to be sarcastic about it. I'm not going to say whether or not it may hurt me. It may not hurt me. I don't know until we get deeply involved in each situation how it's going to hurt me. A lot of times it don't. I mean, yeah, I'm going to miss you because I'm used to talking to you. I'm used to seeing you, but not every day. That's my thing. I really realize that. I'm not the type of person that has to feel like I belong to somebody every day. I don't have to have that communication every day with that same girlfriend. with the same questions. How was your day? What did you eat for lunch? What are you eating for dinner? Look, I can't do this with you 5 days a week. And then the weekend, what you want to do? I'm not doing anything this weekend. Well, oh, you don't want to see me? No, I didn't say that. You asked me what do I want to do, what I had planned. I said I wasn't doing anything. Now, if I tell you I didn't have any plans and you dating me, that's an open door, an opportunity for you to say, well, hey, how do you feel about doing this and or that? Now you have the opportunity to make suggestions. I don't believe in this whole notion that a man has to always lead, because that doesn't work. Because when you find that leadership that you're looking for, and he's making suggestions, he's making plans, first you up here lying to that man. Somebody, you want an alpha this, you want a man to take lead, and then when he take lead, first thing you say, well, why didn't you ask me first? So either way, you're stuck. I'm all about suggestions. We can suggest things together. We can go out. We just get together and go for a walk, just to clear the air. I learned that later on too. You upset with somebody, whether it's your spouse or your wife or whatever, take a walk. Take a walk with them. For long, you're gonna realize that, hey, whatever was going on, it wasn't even that deep. But I'm not trying to be in a situation where I have to start over fresh. And just Sunday, this lady called me yesterday, matter of fact. And so I told her the truth, because all of last week, but she just did a video call. So all last week, she video called maybe once, twice. But with me, the way I am, I was getting up and I would say, well, good morning, good morning, person. And I would actually say, good morning. Lead off with good morning. Her response is, morning, have a blessed day. And I didn't think that was sincere enough. But then when she kept saying, have a blessed day, here I am, Mr. Southern, you from the South, dumb man, thinking when you say have a blessed day, that ends the conversation. Because I was used to people saying that when you're ending a conversation. So I stopped responding. Did it again the next day. Good morning, have a great day at work. I hope all is well with you. How are you this morning? Morning, have a blessed day. So at this point, I'm thinking she's just blowing me off. So finally, yesterday, she calls. And we're just going on having a conversation through the video chat. And I said, hold on, let's just stop. I said, please, just stop. She was talking about something going on in her garden. I ain't want to hear about that shit. Be honest with you, I ain't want to hear about that. I wanted to make sure I was not overthinking this, because I tend to overthink a lot of things. I said, I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why I never called this past week, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. First of all, I appreciate the fact that you called and reached out to me. But every time I reached out to you with a good morning, and you had the same, I quickly realized it was an auto response. Morning, just like that. Have a blessed day. 3 words. No matter what I said to her that morning. So no, I just send that out to people. And I say, well, I'm a very personable type of person. I did not send you a pre-scripted message. I don't rely on Android to write my messages for me. If it's a cold day, it's a wet day, I get up and say, good morning, person A, please be careful. I got heavy rain over this way. Be careful on the roads. That did not come from my phone automatically generated. And I explained to her, I said, well, I thought that you was blowing me off because you kept saying, have a blessed day. So I don't know how to come back from that. You sending the same message. So to me, that's given they're not interested. So I was telling her this on the phone yesterday. And she apologized. She said, no, she did not realize that. She said, this is just something that she does. I said, well, you got to understand something. You're telling me you're looking for a relationship. And this is what I told her. You're telling me you're looking for a relationship, but you want to take your time. And I told you that I'm not that interested in jumping into anything fast myself. So we established off the bat. But if we don't communicate, I can easily take it the wrong way and just pull back like I did this whole past week. That's why she didn't hear from me, because I'm getting that same old pre-recorded message, no matter what I say it to her. So it's like she's not viewing what I'm saying, or she don't even have the knowledge or the know-how to respond. Because I'm the type of person, if you text me in the morning, you text me something specific, I'm gonna reply specifically. I'm that person, you know what? I'm probably the last of 1,000 people left on this planet. I don't even use emojis. Every now and then I might shoot you one. But if the entire conversation is based on all those emojis that particular person is sending me, I don't keep going. I don't plan to text you all day, no way. But sometimes when you're getting up and I get up early, if I'm thinking about that person, I'll send them a message. Simply put. And but she understood what I was saying yesterday. And I also said to her yesterday, I got in, I said, well, I had something in the air fryer. Oh, I had my wings in the air fryer. And I said, well, right when she called, I was just walking in the door. I said, well, I'm getting ready to eat a late lunch. And can I call you back this afternoon? I said, let's video chat this afternoon. By the time Sunday evening ran around, my friend came through here. We laughing and giggling and cutting it up. And we done had a couple of shots. And I know that I don't even really drink liquor, but, she got to be a good special friend. She got her own liquor stash over here. So, I'm that person. Yeah, you can keep your own bottle over here. This what you drink. And nobody's going to mess with it. But she got her own liquor over here, whatever. So we had a couple shots. By then, I'm like laying on the couch, extra lazy. And I thought about the young lady when I said I was going to call her, but I didn't feel like being bothered. So this morning, I got up. I know she goes to work early like I do when I am working. And I sent her a message. So I didn't get a response till like 6 hours later. It's not a big deal. She finally replied and said, well, to be honest, you said you was going to call me back last night. So we'll talk about it this afternoon. So I'm going to have to try to have a good conversation with her to where we can kind of stop this he say, she say stuff and just have a great conversation with each other. Because I think she's an interesting person. I understand she went through some personal things. And but I would like to talk to him and just get to know her. And that's a lot coming from me, because usually when I'm the type of person, I'm like, look, I ain't trying to hear your drama. I'll exit stage right. But this, I don't think what she's experienced is not drama. But I like this individual enough to give her another try to talk to her. So I will have this phone conversation this afternoon. Yeah, excuse me. I was outside all of 15 minutes, throw it back dry from that pollen. And they said today was a light pollen day. Somebody lied. But anyway, I'm going to have a conversation with her this afternoon. And, and I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I'm doing these lives, it may tell me I have X amount of people. I get, I'm just showing one person. I'm getting the thumbs up. If there's more than one person on here right now, you ain't even got to say nothing. You can just hit the like button. You can just give me a thumbs up, whatever, because it's hard to tell. But I did realize that last one where it showed there was 6 people in here. When I ended it, it was like 30 or 40. So, this thing can lie to you. I think that would cause a lot of people to end their lives a lot faster. But, the truth be told, relationship is what you make it. I know I've gotten on here and I've gotten on a rant about cheating and but I would like to talk about a hall pass. If you're in a relationship and before you decide to cheat, sit down and talk to your spouse about getting a hall pass. Because I feel like today, with the way that everything's going today, it's just too dangerous to be out there. People are being played. We've got these guys now that are okay. They was talking about the black Tinder swindler. There's more than one. So you've got these guys out here now. These relatively nice looking guys swindling several young ladies. They don't care what race they are, out of all this money. And moving in with one and still swindling people while she's at work, all this kind of stuff. So y'all have to just kind of be careful when you're dating people, getting to know somebody. I do not believe for one moment that I'm gonna get involved with somebody, and they are being very evasive when I ask them general questions. And cause you really have to realize is what they don't tell you is what you need to be concerned about. Anytime people can't give you a straight answer about themselves, that's a red flag. May not be for you, but it is for me. And that's why I pride myself on communication. If you and I cannot have an open, honest conversation, this is not going to work anyway, for whatever reason. So we're going to have to be able to communicate with each other. Yeah, I've been in relationships where we get mad and we don't speak for 2 or 3 weeks. Did I ever have a time in any of my relationships I wish I could have got those 2 or 3 weeks back that we didn't speak? Yes, it was. And I was still in that situation, but I couldn't go back and pull it back in. Only thing I can do is move forward. And I believe in that. What's going to happen between now and hopefully I get another, I don't know how many years of life, I'm going to enjoy it. My buddy came over here Saturday. We was talking about that, and I even mentioned it to him about how I want to do this summer. I want to start something different, or maybe the fall, going camping. And I was trying to see, what his mind frame was, if he was interested in teaming up and doing the same thing. Look, it'll cost X amount of dollars. I don't have an RV yet, but we can rent one, or we can get a cabin and take some tents. Because most times you got cabins. You can still put a tent out there if you decide to do so. But I wasn't really getting positive feedback. And I know a lot of times he's not the type of person that would commit to anything unless it's the day of. But first of all, if I'm asking you if you want to do something like this ain't a situation where you're going to ride along for free. I'm trying to do this either. I'm willing to even go 60-40. Both single, both older, both looking to do something different. I know he likes to fish, so hey, it's no brainer. But I'm gonna mention it to him. I'm gonna have another good conversation with him about it and see how he feels about that. Because, and then on the other hand, I will be doing some things on my own. All this past year, when I had these beautiful weekends, I just fill up my tank and just go somewhere. Drive an hour or 2 out. Sometimes I stay over, sometimes I come back. Sometimes I just go over to the next state and just hang out and do things. Getting in different areas of town. I like small diners. So if I can just drive and I see a sign there's a diner up the road, something I never tried, I'll pull into that little mom and pop, check it out. Don't want to spend all my time traveling on the expressway. I'll take, the state highway routes and just enjoy the scenery. Also, that helps to clear your mind. I don't know if you all think about doing things like that, but you can't always stay cooped up. You can't always stay cooped up. I feel like, being off this little length of time, if I stay in this house every day, it won't be good. I'll just be rattling my brain, just overthinking everything. I get up and I leave. I had my doctor's appointment early this morning. I left there. Took me 3.5 hours to get back home because I just had other things that I would rather do. To just think about other things that you want to start enjoying in life. And it don't even take 5 or 6 of your best friends to do it. Sometimes do it by yourself, or maybe that one special friend you can do it with. Do the same thing with dating. Like I said, I'm going to talk to this young lady this afternoon. I'm pretty sure and have established this point that it's not going to go anywhere serious, and I don't expect it to be. But I'm looking forward to the conversation and just seeing where that person is in their mind frame, and have a good conversation with her. Because I think first of all, I interrupted her yesterday when she was talking about what she was talking about, and I told her about the reason why I didn't call her, because I felt like she wasn't interested anyway. I'm gonna give her time to go backtrack and talk about what she was talking about, because maybe she just needed somebody to talk to. But sometimes you could talk about one thing so much to, if you talk to all 5 or 25 of your friends, here comes a new person. You instantly want to start giving that new person all of your grief. Look, it's way too early for that. I don't need to do that. It's way too early. But how do you tell somebody that? How do you tell them? The young lady was talking to me, and truth of the matter is, I'm sorry she lost her husband. But that was 8 years ago. And it was a brand new conversation. Well, I just met her, but how much can she just keep bringing him up before I say? And I want to disrespect her because maybe people grieve differently, but I didn't want to keep talking about that. I want to talk about other things. I don't grieve like everybody else. I don't, death don't take me down. I don't crawl around in the woe is me, and I don't do that. When somebody pass on for me, I say my piece and I'm done with it. But she may be still hurting from that, even though he, 8 years ago he passed or whatever. She may be still. I don't think she's ready to date if you're having a conversation with me, and that's all you keep talking about. And every time I'm trying to ease away from that, and I may say something like something I like, she'd go back to, well, he used to like this, he used to do this, he used to do that. How do y'all get past that? So it became a mess for me. It became too much for me because I instantly realized this person just looking for a counseling session. She's really not interested in the possibility of dating anybody, and I wasn't going to waste my time. I didn't see a reason to. That wasn't being selfish. It's just the simple fact is I'm not a grief counselor. So there it is in a nutshell. I'm just me. But I do intend on staying single. I don't intend on getting very serious with anybody. And if they cool with that, that's fine. I don't even put a label on nothing at this point. What I need to do. Yes, that's right, y'all. It's about me. I have spent all of my dating life making it always about that other person. I ain't bitter about it, but I'm just simply saying I'm getting along so well. Things are going so great. Why risk messing that up? Bringing somebody into my life that I really don't want to be bothered with, and now I'm just stringing them along. It ain't so much of them hanging on to me. I'll be wasting her time. So I put it out there. I'm not looking for anything serious, And all I can do is be honest with somebody at this point. I don't feel like I need to lie to them. I ain't trying to lead nobody on for no reason. None. And if all you ladies out there that keep hitting me up and the first thing out your mouth is be passport ready, let me tell y'all something. I don't say this, woman say it again. I am not looking for a travel buddy. I'm not looking to sponsor somebody travel. If I want to travel, I can get on my computer right now and book me a ticket and I can fly somewhere. Okay, I'm in that position where I can do that now. Finally, I can do things. And that's because I took all that other stuff off the table. I don't worry about all that else. I ain't worrying about what everybody else is doing. I'm not trying to play Captain Saver every time I get in a relationship. But I'm not looking to be the sponsor of your trips. The last 3 women that brought that up to my attention. Oh yeah, I'm ready to travel. You gotta be ready to go. Jet set. I said, well, I tell you, I'll do you one better. Tell me where you're going and I'll meet you there. But why we can't go together? Because I'm not trying to sponsor your trip. I don't even know if I can get along with you. I don't even know if I can spend one night with you, let alone getting on a plane with you and going somewhere for 4 or 5 days. I have a disaster trip. No, you're not gonna work my nerves like that. But we'll talk about that at another date. These what they always talk about some I'm dating with a purpose. Y'all be careful with that because there are a lot of people out there that's saying that dating with a purpose. They date with a purpose to take from you. And it might not even always be money. But they dating with a purpose to take from you. So ask them to explain that when they say it to you. And I bet you they can't explain it to you honestly. Nor can they be honest when they talk about they want full transparency. Ask them what exactly is that to them. They're not going to be able to tell you. Because they're trying to get there. There's too many people trying to take. Ain't nobody trying to give these days. So y'all be careful with that. And I'm not saying that's everybody, but we all smart enough to figure it out. But anyway, everybody have a great Monday afternoon. I am done this time for real. I'm getting off this thing and watching me some television. So y'all have a great Monday afternoon. Take care. Be safe.